The last 5 days have been absolute hell. The title is a bit of a giveaway, but pretty much everyone who commented was right, and my own suspicions have been confirmed. After talking to my friend, the lawyer, we agreed that I should confront her with my concerns, suggest looking through her phone together just to put some of my suspicions to rest. I realize how risky this was, but we really didn't have a lot of choice considering there was no clear proof that anything weird had been going on. He suggested that we meet somewhere quiet, but still in a public setting in case she decided to freak out and do something irrational. I decided to take her to our local park, where I sat her down on a park bench well away from any crowds of people. When we sat down together, I told her how serious of a situation we could be in and that she must be completely honest with me, and that want to be on her side, but the way she had been acting had led to some serious suspicions. I explained to her that I didn't want to break the trust between us, so had decided against looking through her phone, despite how tempted I was. When I told her the concerns, she immediately got defensive and started denying everything. She called me a paranoid asshole for even suggesting that she would be in a relationship with a minor. She said the fact that I would even question something like this means there's probably something wrong with me and that I must be the one hiding something. Honestly, the way she reacted just confirmed to me that there was something that she hadn't been telling me this entire time, and that without her cooperation, the safest bet was probably just to leave. I suggested that we look through her phone together just to provide me with closure, and even if there was nothing to hide, it would mean a lot to me that she would just humor me, and that it might even be fun to look through together and laugh at how ridiculous I was being. She screamed at me for trying to invade her privacy and that I had massively overstepped the line before storming away from me, back to the car and driving to her friend's house to stay for the night. I don't know what she talked about with her friend, but at around 3 a.m. the next morning I got a really long text from her giving her view of the situation. The messages was as follows. The entire message was considerably long, so I've summarized it for this post. My wife, I really don't think what I have been doing is wrong. It started with me just helping this kid with some extra practice because he was struggling to get the hang of some of the drills we had been working on in that day's training session. These private sessions were becoming more regular, and after about 3 weeks of extra training sessions he sent me a friend request to my Instagram. He wasn't the first one of the team to send me a request, and I wouldn't usually accept them, but as I was giving this kid private coaching sessions, I thought it made more sense. He started to send me DMs, so I responded because I'm not a total asshole. Okay, maybe the texts aren't just about soccer anymore. There's nothing wrong with being friends with a kid. You've always been super close to your younger brother, and I've never called you out for being weird. The message then proceeded to say how much of an asshole I was for trying to call her out and trapping her in a situation that would always leave her looking bad. She ended the message by telling me that she thinks that she'll be able to look past this and forgive me for being a total insecure dickhead, and that if I ever questioned her like this again, she would be filing for a divorce. I was in complete shock when I read this response, as I have never seen this side to my wife. This is not the kind, loving, respectful, and open person whom I had married, and it is driving me totally insane. I just don't know what to do. I understand that what she was telling me is not normal, and I can't believe how naive I have been for so long, but I still feel like there's even more going on that she's not telling me. Her long message didn't actually explain why she had been messaging this kid so much and for so long, or why she had been spending literal hours every evening locked in our bedroom or on the sofa just on her phone. IDK, maybe I am just being paranoid? Maybe this is more normal than I'm making it out to be, although this seems unlikely. Should I still try to look through her phone anyway, despite what she's told me? When we had met the previous day, my friend mentioned that this was out of his field, but that I shouldn't contact the police until I was more sure of anything, because if we did end up getting a divorce, and she is technically innocent, calling the police on your wife for providing extra help to a kid she coaches wouldn't look very good for me in a courtroom. I did what many people suggested and contacted our local police. Although this would be the preferred option, our current financial position and my current salary doesn't allow me to hire a private investigator. She is also the main earner in the relationship, about 60% of our shared income. Not only can I not afford to hire a PI, but there is also the issue that we have a shared bank account. Any purchases? I am aware that it's always smart to have our own individual bank accounts alongside a shared one, but we have been so close as trusting with each other that we haven't really seen the need for this, and having a joint account has never really been an issue. As her job as an accountant, she is mainly in charge of managing our banking, and any large purchases have to go through both of us, just by the way the account is set up. This means it would be practically impossible to hire a private investigator without her finding out. After our last conversation, she has moved back after staying with her friend, and we are living in the same home. It is very awkward, and I have been trying to avoid her wherever possible whilst doing my best not to let on that I am trying to dig further. It was about a day after my last post that I decided to contact the police, and after a pretty long conversation explaining the situation, they told me that there was no legal grounds for them to take action without any concrete evidence or clear signs of suspicious activity. They advised me to keep an eye out and call them immediately if anything new came up. I appreciated their time, but honestly their advice didn't give me a clear path forward.